Teens can't get jobs because they have no open positions. Because adults are working these jobs. Because they can't get a job in their field of study with their degree. Or they have a job in their field of study with their degree, but it doesn't pay them enough to live, so they need a second job. That's simple. Everybody understands this, except for the news, apparently. It's not because they're lazy and don't want to wake up before noon for their job. Adults can't even get jobs right now, and we're surprised that teens aren't getting summer jobs? It's not rocket science.
Getting a job is actually impossible. My mom, my siblings, everyone's telling me just get a job, but it's not that easy. Indeed is not hiring. Indeed is a facade. And all these other websites that promise me a job, you're not going to give me a job, babe. So let's just take a step back.
And as unfortunate as it is, the whole idea of a teen job or a teenager summer job, that shit is long gone, baby. The people in these jobs be 60, 70 years old working at Shake Shack and Chick-fil-A. And I'm not saying that in a demeaning way. I'm just saying, like, that's how the economy is. Like, there's no more jobs reserved specifically for teens. Like, these is grown-up jobs at this point. This shit is for everybody. You got grown-ass people, like I said, working at McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, skating rinks, ice cream shops to feed their kids. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's a wrap for the teens in that regard. But it's a wrap.
Usually teenagers, get to a certain point where they need to find a job, get this experience and learn some responsibilities, have a little spending money, all those type of jobs that usually people expect a lot of teenagers usually do or has always been that way. Jobs at grocery stores, a lot of retail stores and fast food restaurants. This has been the way things have been happening. A lot of people are starting to see and point this out, and also a lot of teenagers are starting to share their experience. Have been sending out a lot of job applications to places that they expected to get their first experience at, and they are unable to find any jobs. They're struggling to find it. And why is that? Because a lot of adults are actually in those positions. The job market is really literally trash. So right now we have a lot of teenagers who are unable to get their foot in the door because there's really no space left for them. This whole situation is really sad, but that's what's going on. But before we get into this video and check them out, I want to give a very, very huge shout out to Sean, my biggest supporter. Thank you so much for sending me a $10 Cash App. Thank you for always supporting this channel. I appreciate you so much. Please make sure you click the like button. It helps with the algorithm, and I appreciate that so much. Let's get right into this video.
Do young people not work at like Home Depot and Tractor Supply and like Hobby Lobby?
Boomers can't retire and millennials keep getting laid off left to right. They're taking up all the jobs that teenagers are supposed to be taking. When millennials are getting laid off, what jobs are they taking? Target jobs, retail jobs, fast food jobs, jobs that teenagers and Gen Z should be taking. But since people are not having jobs with real stability anymore these days, Gen Z does not have a chance to work entry-level positions. And again, with the boomers can't retire. So they have to take these part-time jobs that teenagers are supposed to be fucking taking. That's why teenagers are not in the workforce. And when y'all are ready to have the real conversation about how ageism doesn't just affect boomers, I'm right with you. Because ageism is so common when it comes to hiring Gen Z. Nobody ever talks about it because you guys just think that ageism is just for older people. People are like more discriminative towards like older people. But like realistically speaking, in this current day and age, Gen Z cannot get a job because of ageist recruiters. People keep having this narrative that Gen Z is lazy, Gen Z doesn't want to work, Gen Z is this, Gen Z. It's always something. And it's due to ageism. Y'all don't want to give Gen Z a chance because you're ageist as fuck. Y'all feel like Gen Z is too young to be taken too seriously. That's why.
I just saw this girl talking about how teenagers need adult money to enjoy things the same way we did. And I didn't even get through the whole video before I was like, wait, obviously that's so true. But like, I was in high school driving like a Cadillac Escalade. It was not like a bougie Cadillac Escalade. Like the gas gauge was broken, the door handle was broken, okay, but like I was making $7 an hour. This car got 10 miles to the gallon and gas was like over $4, and I still had money to put gas in my car and go do things with my friends. $7 an hour. Like, it's just like actually so crazy to think about, because I kind of was balling on my $7 an hour like job where I worked like probably 15 hours a week. I don't know. Nuts. Absolutely nuts.
So I made a video a couple weeks ago about how teenagers basically are priced out of everything, like all activities, and that they have nothing to do and nowhere to go, and that they can't really even afford like the bare minimum, which is like going to get even fast food with their friends. And that, you know, sitting at a park and doing nothing can only be fun for so long until you start getting into other things. And I had a lot of people comment, a lot of teenagers and young adults commenting like, yeah, this is my experience. Thank you for hearing me out. Thank you, because this is the reality. And then I had some people commenting like, I don't know where you guys are living, but it's not that expensive. And it's like, okay, first of all, we all live in different places, Europe to America to Canada, blah, blah, blah. And saying that they had similar experiences. The economy has changed everywhere. Like, I'm 26 now. 10 years ago, I was 16. Even then, things were getting really expensive. I was making $7.20 at my first job. And I was working, you know, I was in high school, so I was probably working like, 20 hours a week. And I was still able to afford the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. That was the first thing I bought with my paycheck. I was still able to go out with my friends. McDonald's was $1. I was still able to afford things at the mall. I was able to fill up my gas tank by myself every time. How is this possible now with the money that they're making now at their first teenager job? With the prices that things are now, it is not possible. And moreover, as a lot of people commented, it's so hard to get a job. And I'm not even saying this is just for teenagers. It's the job market is just very hard right now. People with experience already, with multiple years of experience in whatever, are taking entry-level jobs, teenager jobs, fast food jobs, because they can't get hired anywhere else. There is not as many opportunities for teenagers to get jobs. Teenager doesn't have job. Teenager have no money. Teenager have no money. Teenager do nothing. Teenager on phone. Like, does that make sense? We don't want them to be on their phones all fucking day. Like, not one of those people who I'm like, those are the best years of your life. But there is a sweet spot of being a teenager where you have freedom and you have the ability to go out and do things to a certain extent, but you don't have as much responsibility. And that is amazing. And that is such like a short amount of time. When you get older, you look back and you're like, that was amazing, you know? And when they can't do anything with that because they have no money, it's fucked up. It's sad. And it's a problem. It's a problem for everyone. It's a problem that people my age in their mid-20s can't even get a job. People are graduating college, can't get a job. Oh, well, you need to network more. Yeah, dude. Everybody is trying. Everyone is trying. People have sent out 600 job applications and have gotten nothing back. It is a problem. And I'm speaking for the younger generation because I think a lot of people like to say they don't want to work. They're lazy. They're expecting to make so much money. No, they're just expecting to make enough money to be able to do anything. And I don't know. Like, why is this like kind of controversial?
Good morning, America. You guys are idiots. You claim that teens can't find jobs because they're lazy and don't want to work, but the reality is that they can't find jobs because they're being taken by adults who also can't find jobs because guess what? The job market is trash. Nothing to do with them being lazy, not wanting to work. They can't work because the adults are working these jobs. Adults have to work part-time retail fast food jobs because they can't find other jobs because of the horrible job market, people getting laid off, things being taken over by AI. That's why the adults are working the teen jobs. And the fact that you didn't do any research shows just how dumb and out of touch you are, like most celebrities who are making millions of dollars. And you also said that, cashiers are making $21 an hour. Where are cashiers making $21 an hour? Like, what is your source? Like, the fact that these people just say things without doing any research, and the way they were laughing at, like, teens are lazy, like, you guys need to work harder. It's just so annoying. Like, I just hate how celebrities do these kind of things, and, like, they report it, and they don't feel any remorse. Like, I hope that people call you out for this, and that you get shamed, like, I hope you all get publicly shamed for this, because this is so out of touch, this is stupid. You guys should be ashamed. Like, that was pathetic. That was just pathetic, you guys. All of you.
Okay, and another thought about mall culture in the 2010s, like, I feel bad because even if you went with, like, $5, you could enjoy yourself. And now you literally cannot even get a beverage, like a fun beverage for $5. And that's fucked up. That's fucked up. It's like teenagers have literally nowhere to go. Tweens, you know, it was so much fun to like have the responsibility of like, yay, I get to go somewhere without my parents. That's like not the movies or something. And because it's in a confined space, and then like enjoy yourself. And you literally can't even get a smoothie for $5 now. You can't get a frappuccino. You can't even get like, I don't even know. Like, it's fucked up that there's only a few places in our society now that are like made for teenagers, and one of them being the mall. They're priced out of it. And it's like, if you still want to go to the mall and you want to shop, like, you need bands. And oh, I need to give you $50 to have you enjoy anything at the mall. It's like, okay, we have lost the plot. You know what I mean? I just feel bad. Like, there's nowhere for them to go. And also, like, online, it's like they all want to be adults and they all want to act grown. All of that is so expensive. And then they're just, like, playing dress up to be older and then, like, living life on their phone. And then, like, when they're in a place that they could actually be a teenager at, they're not even being a teenager because they're playing with adult money. Does that make sense? I just have thoughts.
What happened to the days of teens being able to find a part-time job in the summer? I have taken Jordan and Leah around, like, the radius of where we live. There's a whole bunch of places. There's Burlington, there's Marshall's, there's Hobby Lobby, there's the Dollar Tree, there's Domino's, there's Walmart, there's everything around us, right? Nobody wants to hire them.
Ma'am, that is because the adults are working the teen jobs now, and there's nothing against that. I mean, you're an adult, you got to do what you got to do to pay your bills, but that is just how bad the job market is now. And as an employer, you're going to want to trust an adult over a teen because of work hours, reliability, and then you just trust adults more to do the job better than you would a teen. There's a lot more rules and regulations that companies have to follow when they hire teens that they don't have to follow when they hire adults. And then when the summer's over, the adult isn't going to quit the job like the teen would because they have to go to school now. So it's just like an all-around better situation to hire the adult. That's the problem. When the company sees an application from a 16-year-old versus a 25-year-old, they're almost always going to go with the 25-year-old. Your teens are fighting a battle against grown adults, people that need to work, not just people who want to work out of necessity. And you can't even blame the company because it's not their fault. Blame the job market, blame this current administration, blame this economy, because that's the reason your teens aren't being able to get a job. Gone are the days of high schoolers being able to get a job, much less a summer job. My best advice to you is to find the closest amusement park and hope for the best there. Heck, if adults are out here complaining that they can't even get a job, what makes you think that your teens will be able to get one? But y'all let me know what y'all think. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.
I just saw a video about teenagers being priced out of being regular teenagers, and I didn't save the video, so I don't know who made the video. So if you do know, please tag her. But like, she's basically saying teenagers can't do the things that they normally would do, like go to the movies, go get food together, drive around, because it's too expensive to do anything, to pay for gas, to go get something from a restaurant, to buy a movie ticket, anything. But also part of the issue isn't just the fact that it's too expensive and like they can't pay for it with like their allowance or something. It's the fact that there's no more jobs available to them because all of the actual like adults now have to work little side jobs to make ends meet. Not only is everything too expensive, but I know grown adults that are working as a bartender and then also going to scoop ice cream on the weekends because they need the extra income. They need every single dollar that they can get. The jobs that a teenager normally would take are not being taken anymore by them because they're not there. And I graduated high school. The summer after I graduated high school, I started working at a movie theater, and like in the span of like 4 years of working there, like when I would go to college and come back on breaks, it was so interesting watching the workforce transform. Like when I started, it was almost all teenagers, young adults, etc. And then by the time I was like an assistant manager there, all of my coworkers were like 23, 24, 25. I had like a 60-year-old coworker, just like one in like the concession stand. Just everybody was so much older. Like there weren't teenagers. Like there was not a 16-year-old, 17-year-old at all that I was working with, except for maybe like occasionally on like a summer vacation, like during summer break. But even then, it was only like one or two of them. And it would be the same work people every single day because they had to be there every day to make their bills get paid. Like they had to do it. So I don't know, like this conversation has definitely been very interesting to me to listen to, but whew, we are in the bad place.
Y'all, I am overly desperate for a job. Like Waffle House, I can fight. I can do a little 1, 2, little 3, 4, little 5, 6, little 7, 8. Like, nobody want to hire.
Yeah, of course teenagers are depressed and isolated and socially awkward. I mean, where are they supposed to go? I mean, I've been thinking about this a lot recently, and I really want to talk about it because everybody wants to blame phones and social media for these issues, which I don't disagree with entirely. But I mean, really and truly, if you're a teenager today, what are your options? Where are you supposed to find community? Most places aren't walkable. Public transportation is limited. Third spaces like malls are disappearing. Hanging out anywhere costs money. I feel like every time I step outside, I spend $100. And I mean, if we're being so real, it starts before you're a teenager nowadays. We've created an entire generation of kids with fewer places to gather, fewer opportunities to socialize, and then we act shocked when they're struggling to connect with other people. And I don't think we talk enough about the sociological effects of our economy. We talk about inflation and wages and rent prices, but not what happens when people can afford to survive but not actually live. And when I was a kid, every summer we would take a trip. We would go to summer camps. Throughout the year, we would do extracurriculars, something, anything. And I'm not saying everybody had that experience, but a lot of kids did. And that's where a lot of friendships were made. That's where social skills were built. Now, a lot of families can't afford that. And if you have multiple kids, forget about it. But even only children used to rely on summer camps or sports camps, vacations, youth programs, places where they met people outside of school, outside of their family. And those opportunities are disappearing because they're just too expensive. They're inaccessible. Then those kids become teenagers, and where are they supposed to go? You can't walk anywhere in most of American towns. Public transportation is non-existent in most areas. Like I mentioned, third spaces like malls are dying. Dead, really. Community spaces are disappearing, and even if there is somewhere to go, everything costs so much money. You go to the mall and a single shirt is like $75. And then you become an adult and everybody wonders why like dating is dead. Well, a nice date can easily cost like $100 or $200 now. I know plenty of people who aren't dating because they literally cannot afford to. And there's more wealth circulating through this world right now than at any other point in human history. And somehow regular people have less access to community. They have less free time, fewer public spaces, fewer opportunities to connect and meet each other. And human beings, we're social creatures, right? And when people become isolated from their communities and disconnected from other human beings, there are consequences. And we're starting to see that play out. And I don't think we've even begun to see how bad those consequences are going to be. And I mean, I'm not going to lie. I hope I'm not around to see the worst of it. But I see all of this discourse about how teenagers are so depressed because they won't get off their phones. But where do you want them to go?
We have a lot of people in different age groups actually competing for the same positions, and there are a lot of people who are unable to even retire because of how things are. Like, they are literally in the same spot. People are not quitting their jobs. Everybody's staying stuck because the job market is really bad. They're just not going well. You know how the economy is, so this is a struggle. And it's sad that, you know, teenagers have to compete with people who already have like so many years of experience, and that really like puts them at a bad spot because we have a lot of jobs who are entry level. You have them having a requirement where you are supposed to have like 3 years experience, 5 years experience, and that's supposed to be an entry level job, a job that shouldn't require an experience for anybody to work that job. That's literally, we're having that happening. So of course, when you have to compete with people who have so much experience, that puts you at a disadvantage. To top it all off is the fact that a lot of teenagers actually require so much money. Like right now, I don't think people can survive on the amounts or the minimum wage that a lot of states have. You know, like these are the things that is problematic. You know, they can't survive on those things. A lot of teenagers need the adults' money. They need the money that people with 20 years experience have for them to feel normal, for them to exist and actually enjoy their life. Or else it's just gonna be, they really can't do anything, like, because everything costs a lot. Everything costs way more. How are you really gonna get the adult money when you don't have enough job experience for you? You're not an adult yet. So, you know, that's the gist. Right now, we have a lot of adults working jobs that were meant to be a stepping stone because they have no options. I mean, that's what the economy has really brought us to. It has put people in situations that they didn't think they were going to be in. Nobody want to be in that situation. People would love to be moving up ahead and, you know, let the new ones come in. But it's like, there's no space. Like some people are literally trying their best to, you know, juggle 2 to 3 jobs and keep whatever they can to be able to sustain themselves. You've made it to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching this video to the very end. Please leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I would love to see what you think about this video, and don't forget to click the like button. It definitely helps with the algorithm, and I appreciate that so much. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here and you're watching me for the very first time. Hit the notification bell to get notified every time I post a new video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.